Welcome to Miracle Mondays with Rae Lashea. Let's hear a little Cass. She whining, she whining, she rolling back. Baby, I love how you working that. Go ease up, girl, don't you hold it back. No holding back. Oh, girl. When you whine and you dip so, how you move to the soul like calypso. Girl, I wanna get with you tonight. My name is Rae Lashea. I am your host. I'm so excited to be here. I have a fantastic and international guest today, Mr. Asokore Beckles, aka Ace, who is a Bayesian native. And so that's going to be super exciting. He is an economist, a statistician, and also an activist for the Labor Party. And so super excited to have him. So let me get him on. And if you would please help me welcome Asokore Beckles. Oh, I am here every... Welcome!
Hey Rachel, how you doing?
I'm great, thank you. Fantastic to see you.
Fantastic to see you as well.
Thank you. So, I am really excited to have you here on Miracle Mondays. And to get started, will you please let the people know who you are and what you do?
Hi Rachel. Well, you call me here today because I'm a trade union leader. I'm a civil rights activist, and I'm an all-around representative of the people.
And Barbados is going through an amazing transition right now.
It is.
How exciting is that?
We've just become a republic. I mean, there was some controversy around it, but I think we have now passed that milestone. And generally, the people are very happy. The people of the Caribbean are very happy that we've done this. So now you're hearing Jamaica and other countries looking to join us and pushing their leaders to join and become a republic.
Barbados has always been in the forefront of change and leadership. What do you think? Now you've mentioned already like a couple countries. Do you think that this Barbados can become like the leader of CARICOM and the leader?
Let's not say that. Let's not. You're going to start a whole kettle of fish if you go down that line. I mean, Barbadians are very proud. I mean, for many, many years, other Caribbean countries have also said that they know about our pride. But let's just say there's a little jealousy sometimes. And I used to be the Caribbean Congress of Labour General Secretary General. And I would say to you that many times our brothers and sisters have heard good stories of us, and they never wanted us to hold that prestige. So many times when we weren't doing well, they would make sure to let us know we're not at the top anymore. So it's always that little rivalry.
Haters.
I'm not going to go that far.
Okay,
but I would say.
I am. My mom is born and raised in Trinidad, so I can take some of the
Trini, big up all the Trinis.
In fact, we met coming from the Trinidadian Carnival one year.
So many years ago.
It seems like
you actually remember that. It is.
So then on top of becoming a republic, there is a woman. There is a woman in office now.
A strong woman. Let's add that. A strong woman, yeah.
And do you think that will open opportunities for women in general in Barbados and then again across the Caribbean?
I mean, which woman are you speaking of? Are you speaking of our new president, Dame Sandra Mason, or are you speaking of our prime minister, the Right Honorable Mia Amon Motley? So which woman? Because we have two women leading our country. The
And
head of
that's
state.
amazing.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful. I mean, we all as Caribbean men are led by women in our households. I mean, not in the biblical sense, but women are really the backbone of households in the Caribbean. So I would say that we've been accustomed to it for many, many years. And having a strong woman, or two strong women leading our country right now, I think was integral and important for us becoming a republic and for us to make the strides that we are making today. Visions, women have a lot of vision.
Yeah, yeah, and they'll put the work in, boy.
Yes, they will.
So you have yourself been in politics and been in and out of different parties and know what it is to put the work in for running and for elections and petitions. What
Mhm.
um what advice would you give to somebody who wants to go into politics?
Hmm. Know that it's your path first. I mean, politics, there's good and there's bad. I've won elections, I've lost elections. So go into it for the right purpose. Because if you don't and you lose, you'll be defeated. You'll be defeated mentally and you will probably hate it forever. Um, be able to take a letdown, be able to take a no, be able to take a loss, and be able to get up again and go. So I would say those who stay in politics are really those who are going to be in it for their life. Even if it's not politics, it's representation. There are different levels of representation. I would say that um, just love it. Have a passion. It's like any job, any profession. If you really love something, you'll keep at it. I mean, look at entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs know failure. They know these trials and tribulations of going and failing and going and failing. You can lose 1,000 times, but it only takes that one time to win, you know, as like an experiment. So let it be your grand experiment, but enjoy the journey and the path.
Oh, that's excellent. What are some of the right reasons to go into politics, and what are some of the wrong reasons to go into politics?
Well, let's start with the wrong, because the right is very simple, very easy. The right is always representing people, having a vision in mind and a path forward for making sure people's lives are better. Simple, very simple. I mean, we could add a whole heap of stuff to it, but at its core, it is about making everyday life better for people. Um, Bad reasons, popularity, um, women or men, the opposite sex, right? Um, Money. I mean, a lot of people go into politics for money. Power. Power is very addictive. If you get power, sometimes you always want it, and you're easily found out, though, to be honest, because people who only enjoy the power and the money usually show their hand pretty fast, and they're usually voted out just as fast. So those are some wrong reasons.
The people are smarter than a lot of times they get credit for.
Yeah, they are. I mean, we have a saying in Barbados: drink you out, eat you out, and vote you out. So, so it's a thing in Caribbean politics. Politicians ensure that they help each individual. They could touch every person almost, and sometimes people give people drinks or food or buy their vote, not by giving cash, and sometimes maybe even that. Um, but Caribbean people and mostly Barbadian people, I know for sure, they'll take your gifts, they'll take your efforts, but they're not necessarily going to vote for you. So eat you out, drink you out, and vote you out. So that is interesting in politics.
That's interesting. Um, oh, I was about to ask you a question. Wait, let me get it.
That's okay. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
So, what make you start these Miracle Mondays? I was curious because you popped in and you asked me if I would be interested in doing it. I was kind of hesitant, but because I trust you and I know you for many years, I know you're a great writer. I know you have great vision. So I said, you know what, I'll give it a shot, and here I am. But what made you do this?
Um, the first book I ever wrote, which was Black Geisha, I might have a copy
Hmm.
nearby, which was back in
Yeah,
2010, which
put
was
it up.
back.
Let's see it.
I know. Let me see. You know, I might have moved them. It was back in 2010, and promotion and everything was different. There was no Instagram. Facebook was kind of newish, and so I did a lot of groundwork, and then I published a children's
Hmm.
book, You Are a Star, and even that was
Hmm.
done very grassroots. And then I left.
Big up to Black authors. Big up to Black authors. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah,
Keep it
thank
up.
you.
Hmm.
And then I left. I paid off all my debt. I left the country and decided to travel the world. So I was out
I
of,
remember that.
yeah. So I was out of the loop. So when I came back and I wrote the third book, 52 Weeks of Miracles, and it was time for me to like pound the pavement and knock on doors with my book, it was this whole
Hmm.
new set of rules that I
Hmm.
did not understand with social media and
Publishing, probably.
followers and hashtags and SEOs and logarithms, or I mean algorithms, and
Hmm.
you see, I know nothing. And so
Hmm.
I really didn't understand how to do what I did naturally before. And so and people were like, who are you? You don't have any followers. You know what I mean? And so I was like, I don't know what to do. So I decided to create my own platform,
Hmm.
Miracle Mondays, where I can promote not only myself and my books, but and tap into other people's audiences, but also let my friends, and I have amazing friends. I've been doing this for over a year now. All of my guests are people that I know, and they're amazing and they're dope, and they can present what they do and their products or who they are. And
Hmm.
mostly everyone is an entrepreneur or has some entrepreneurial venture, or is in an uncommon field, and so
Hmm.
both of our audiences are introduced to these other types of alternative pathways and career and professions that they might not have known about. So, and it just keeps going. It just keeps going every
So
week.
you're in essence bringing out the hidden side of the people that you know and the people that you think others can learn from. Is that
Yes,
it?
yes.
Okay. So
And
you had a question for me just now, by the way, so you
uh,
can get back at it if you want to.
and let me just tell all of the viewers who are watching first, thank you so much for being here. Welcome to Miracle Mondays with Rae Lashea. You can see the archived interviews of all of the dope uh, guests and individuals that I've had on my YouTube channel, Rae Lashea, also here in the archive section of IG if you follow me. And please visit my website at www.lessproblemsmoremiracles.com. You can put your email address in to get the free PDF Miracle Makers Roadmap, as well as check out the books that I have and the 2022 Miracle Makers course that is currently available. So,
Read Black Geisha. Mhm.
wait, how did you get Black Geisha?
You told me about it from very many years ago. That's what I would say.
Yeah, oh my goodness. So that's the erotica novel. Uh,
I didn't say that. I said read Black Geisha.
that's, I mean, just so you know, so you're not shocked once you get it. Um, so in the political arena, um, and you know, my question never actually came back to me, but I was going to ask. Geez, that one completely has gone past. I will come back to it. Um, oh, you as an economist. Okay, first,
Mhm.
what does that mean? And does your skills and talents, are they limited to Barbados, or do they expand globally?
They expand globally. I mean, I'm not just restricted even to the field of economics. Um, my path started with economics, and then it took me into statistics. It took me basically to the source of all data. Um, and then it then took me back to economics where I'm doing a PhD in economics. But what I would say is that I have a passion for analyzing data. So if you think of everything in life, there's data behind it. The same algorithms, understanding people. Facebook does it all the time. Amazon, in order to send out advertisements to you. So to understand people means to understand the things that they do, the data that they output. And really and truly does economics in its more minute sense. Economics is more aggregated. Um, so my passion is really to analyze everything as a micro level and expand it as macro as I can. Um, I've done it for multiple countries. I've been to Turkey, Washington, Cayman Islands. Um, I've done work in many countries. Um, when I was Secretary General for CCL, Caribbean Congress of Labour, I was able to apply my economic and statistics background in helping trade unionists in understanding negotiations and finance. So that when we went to negotiations and we spoke to employers, I mean, we spoke with a level of understanding. I did it at ILO meetings, which is the International Labour Organization. So done it all over the world. What I would say is that Barbados and the Caribbean or Trinidad is not unique. They're unique in the sense of small islands unique, but and that's why I feel all small islands should really be uniting against bigger countries and understanding that they have their vision and you have yours. My Prime Minister in Barbados, she speaks very well of this. At the UN conference, at the another conference she speak at. I mean, her popularity is becoming epic. But outside of that, we must all understand that the world we live in, you have to know economics, you have to know data, you have to know people, and even relating with people like yourself. So that's it.
What's the most interesting data that you like to research?
Well, I'm doing a combination of things right now. So I do a lot of COVID data as well. So one of my roles is head biostatistician with the government of Barbados. I mean, the roles vary, but I analyze COVID data for the entire country. I also do some other stuff for Trinidad, and even some stuff for Washington. But what I would say is that looking at COVID, and looking at trends where people who you would think come from an education background would interpret what they see and what they hear and the sources of data that they're taking it from. I find that there's so much different information out there, so much different news that people no longer trust the original sources of data, the original people to listen to. So that tells me something. It tells me that people are very, very easy to change their mind on who they will listen to in the future. So we're looking at trends, right? And I would say the trend is in a couple of years, the current sources of information will not be the general sources of information. So what people trust, they're not going to continue to trust because it's already changing already.
And based on data that you collect on that, can you project where people will trust?
No, I haven't looked at it in that detail, and I would not put my neck out for it because people move, people change too often. Today is something, and you should know this very well. Today they like your book, tomorrow they don't. So people's opinions and attitudes and behaviors change very often, and for some reasons, for the slightest reasons sometimes.
I love how down to earth and low key you are, and you're just like, yeah, when I was the Secretary General of this, and I'm the head of the statistician department of this. Do you consider yourself a celebrity, a local celebrity?
No, far from.
Really? Because I was in Panama. And I happened to just be on a tour to the Panama Canal, and the guy who was on the tour with me said he was from, like, where you from? Where you from? He said Barbados. I said, do you know Asokore? He said Beckles. I said, exactly. Yes. And I knew I could ask him and get an affirmative answer, the random guy in Panama.
I am known in Barbados. I am known throughout the Caribbean. I'm not as widely known in every sphere of life. I'm known in the circles I travel, be it workers' representative, be it politics, because all politicians throughout the region generally know each other. Not necessarily I'm a politician because I'm not a politician currently, but I've dabbled in it, as you know. Um, I think my field is more about representing people, and I think I am known to an okay extent regionally. Um, but I don't proclaim to be popular. I don't proclaim to be a Mr. Celebrity. And if someone knows me in Panama, I feel very humbled by it, to be honest. I try to touch people in good ways. I mean, and those good ways, let them live beyond me. Let it be a legacy. And that's all we can strive to be in life because, people with egos, big egos, and, you know, larger than life personalities. I'm not one. I like to sit under the radar and do what I have to do quietly. And I think those attitudes and those people last a lot longer than the ones that try to fly too close to the sun and burn out.
True. What sort of projects are you working on for the Labor Party?
Barbados to the party. I couldn't tell you even if I was working on anything.
Okay,
I couldn't.
let me ask a different question. Because recently in U.S. headlines, Starbucks, just a group of people from one particular um, branch of Starbucks unionized, and they are now
Mhm.
trying to help another branch get what they wanted as well, even and actually kind of unionize Starbucks. So my question is, what advice would you give to people who are
Okay.
not in unions but who may need the strength of a union?
So what I can say, I can speak about that. I've been contacted recently by two countries in the Caribbean who are not currently unionized. I'm not going to call them, not going to call their names. They're not many, so it's very easy to see which countries they are. And they have tried for many years to get unionized, but we are very familiar with union busting, where the employer tries to prevent workers or scare workers not to get unionized. Um, and more often than not, you would think that people understand or appreciate the value of having an organization. Don't call it a union, an organization to represent them. But more often than not, they don't. They don't understand the value because they sometimes think about dollars and cents meaning I have to pay dues, and dues are ready to go into somebody else's pocket. They don't understand that, how do you get your benefits that you currently have? You think in the capitalist world that the employer wants to give you vacation. You think that they want to give you sick leave? You think that's how it started? You think they started giving you sick leave and vacation and maternity leave and maybe even paternity leave? You think that's how it started? Oh, let's say increasing wage. Oh, you think they gave everybody an increase in wage because they felt so obligated to, these workers are working so good. Let me just give them an increase in wage. That's not how it happens. They might give their favorites, their friends, the sellouts are not a little increase. Or if you have a great CV and you are outstanding, they might give you an increase. But the average worker, the mom and the pop who has 3, 4 kids to support, who maybe only have a puppy to support, but they're still struggling. Um, the capitalist one, the CEO one, they worry about themselves. And what you need is to be your brother's keeper. And what a lot of us have forgotten, a lot of us have forgotten how to be our brothers and sisters' keeper. And because of that selfishness, we have let them go. And which is why many times I'm a little disappointed that people act so callous and carefree when it comes to unionizing or comes to organizing. Let's forget unionizing because it's almost a taboo word sometimes. Organizing. And yet you want to care if someone dies on the streets. You want to care if someone's shot because of they're black. You want to care if someone is, being ill treated by another person. It doesn't stop and start, on that. street. It doesn't stop and start in the supermarket. They all groceries going up. It happens all the time. You can't pick and choose the ways to be your brother's keeper. You have to, in as much ways as possible, do it because you would want them to do that to you. You want them to watch out for you. You want them to care about you. And it'll take a long time for that to happen. And I'll give you a little warning. I was at a meeting in Turkey and in Italy. So let's say these two meetings, probably 2018, 17, 18. And we were discussing robotics and the role of robotics, not only in manufacturing, which has already been there for many, many years, but in to do everyday tasks, to do, let's say waitresses. And then now it's there. Supermarkets, cashiers and packing bags. And now it is there. It doesn't end there. From all the things that we've seen at a regional level, at an international level, robotics will take over most jobs. And that is why we've been pushing on an international level, on a regional level, to have basic pay. You've heard Bernie Sanders and you'd have heard other people speak about basic pay, where everyone needs to have a basic pay. And even if they're not working, you're not talking about people staying home for staying home sake. No. You're talking about in the age where people wouldn't be able to work because there's no work for them. Where machines have actually taken over their jobs that they would have had. And there can't be enough engineers or technicians that can give everybody a job. And what would you do? Would you just let half of the world's population, maybe let's say 25%, die off because they're hungry, because they can't get a job? Is that what you're going to do as a person? Or will you now think beyond that? And will you now say that those who cannot find work because there's no work for them, that they must also survive? And that is really conversations you're going to see over time track towards, because people will have books being written by robotics and machines. You wouldn't need books to be written. If you have enough books there, robots can learn through AI to write a book, to do menial tasks, to drive cars. We all know, so taxi drivers, and those jobs are gone. You'll have self-driving cars. We have that there going on. Let's say someone serving food, hotels wouldn't need anybody to do customer service. Those jobs will be taken over. You know, you'll have nice walking robots serving and having the best things to say, and they won't have a bad day. They will always get up. They'll work 24 hours. So they won't have, hard days. They can't come to work. So you don't need that. So what's going to happen to those workers? And even my job, robots at some point will be able to analyze all the data necessary, make predictions and estimations for all the data. So my job is, as much as I might have a degree in this, a master's in this, a certification in that, that would not be necessary. So if you can think your job right now won't be replaced by a robot in the future, then think again. And then say to yourself, do you want to protect your job and some basic level of income? So let's not dwell on that subject too long, but I wanted to put that in people's mind as to why they need to think about themselves, because it will be their job next.
Wow, that's amazing. That is some good food for thought there. And with that, I want to thank you so much for being here with me today.
Okay, awesome.
Tell people, please, where they can find you, follow you, ask you a question if you want to answer it.
Well, okay, so I'm talking to you from Asokore's Instagram page, just Asokore. It's usually down though. I usually put it down because I don't have the time to populate it most of the time. My professional page is Asokore Beckles, Asokore Beckles, Beckles. It is my professional page, and that is always up. It's kind of boring to most people because there's not all the sexy life and glamour stuff going on. I keep it kind of strict to if I'm doing something business like, or if I can share, because a lot of times I can't share what I'm doing. And as a result, I look like a boring, average kind of Joe, which is okay with me. Um, but that's where you can find me. And yeah, and you can
Excellent.
find me hopping in different countries if you
Right. You
ever
might
are
you
in the
might find
Caribbean.
him on any given airplane. And
We had a great conversation chatting, and look how we are friends today.
and let me say this. He managed to get my seat moved. I don't know how. He said, we need to finish this conversation. And I said, well, I'm sitting up there, you're sitting up here. So, and before I knew it, the stewardess was saying, or the flight attendant said, excuse me, ma'am, you we have a seat over here for you.
I was representing the hostess at the time, the airline.
It was
So anyway,
amazing.
things were possible. But
And
things were
I'm
possible.
so
But
happy.
no, our initial conversation was awesome. I find it very interesting when I find people, male, female, who have something to contribute, who can broaden my thoughts and even be friends in the future because people go all in to talk to somebody. You have to be sexual. You have to be something more to it. But you build relationships and you build bonds with people. Who knows where I'm going to be in the future and where you're going to be, and we can have a drink and chat and start some business, some multi-billion dollar business together. And that's what we need to start thinking of more.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I want to thank everybody for joining us today. Thank you so much, Ace, for being here with me. Don't forget to follow me here. Also, check out the website at www.lessproblemsmoremiracles.com. Put your email address in. Check out the books. Check out the
When is
miracles.
your next book, Ray?
The next book. Oh, you know what? I have Hot Tea and Mercy. It's finished. The publisher is waiting for me. Actually,
Bravo.
so and hopefully next year we'll be able to create some films as well. So until next
Awesome.
week,
I'm looking forward.
yes, thank you. Everyone have a miraculous day. Bye.
Bye.